Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Corny's Drive-Thru. I am Alice Radley. Jim Cornette is, of course, here. Now, folks, as you know from the JCE, we had a bit of a medical emergency this week. We're here to follow up on that. And now I pass you to Jim.
Well, that's right, because obviously on the Experience this past week, it's still airing, folks, the free Experience on MLWradio.com. The guest was old Star Maker, and everybody knows he's been in ill health, and his heart monitor, the Pultron, Voltron, whatever, he'll explain that to us, but it went crazy, and we feared the end of Star Maker Bolin, and we told people that we would give you an update. This is the next time that we broadcast anything on MLW Radio. Of course, it's our VIP drive-through, and we've got the update now on the phone, not back from the dead, but on the phone, Kenny Star Maker Bolin, to address his health, his well-being. What happened? We thought you flatlined, Kenny. What went wrong on the Experience last week?
Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. As you can tell, I'm alive and well, and doing very well, mind you, because when we ended the Experience, as you like to call it, you said something that wasn't quite true, and you're going to need to let your fans know. You told all them redneck fans of yours, now not my fans, because my fans are not like that.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
You told all those redneck fans of yours that Maul Bolin was moving back in here, that you had made a phone call, that you were connected, and you even set up a U-Haul for. You had some MOVW flunkies that were going to drive down here and move her furniture here.
You need somebody in there taking care of you, so things like that don't. You need one of those buttons where you've fallen and you can't get up.
Well, that's just it. If I fall, eventually I do get up. And as a matter of fact, I get up every single time. You can't knock me down. You can't keep me down. No matter what weight I'm toting, no matter what size I am, no matter what my health is, if I go down, eventually I get back up. And then there's going to be hell to pay when I do.
Well, he's like a weeble. He's a weeble.
I ain't nothing like a weeble, because I'm back up and I'm feeling mighty fine today, because I called a little friend of mine that you and I have as a mutual friend. Somehow he became yours, mine, and Jerry Lawler's attorney, Mr. Timothy Dennison.
Well, for heaven's sake.
I told him a little favor I needed from him, and he said, I'll be more than happy to honor that favor for you, King. He said, after the way those book sales are going and the commissions I'm getting off of it, because he did supervise.
Oh, let's not talk about the book now. What the point is your health. And
well, I sure didn't get to talk about the book yesterday. I didn't even get to tell them where they could get it, but we'll fix that today. But what I did is I told Dennison, I said, hey, Ma Bolin's got a lot of law folk looking for her. They were beating my door down when she moved here. She's got money she owes. She's got back rent she owes. She's got cable bills she owes, electric bills she owes, water bills she owes.
Oh, well, you didn't.
Everybody looking for her. Everybody wanted to pay that money. Well, that's going to be bingo money she won't have. So what I told Dennison to do is make a little call to Ma Bolin. I said, let her know that if she shows up down here, I'm going to let all them collectors know where she's at.
For heaven's sake.
Let them all know that they can come and get their money. And then the old bag ain't going to have no bingo money, and she'll either drop dead because she can't play no bingo, or she'll commit suicide, one of the two. But either way, I'm rid of Ma Bolin and not being a pain in my ass anymore.
Well, so just wait a minute.
She's elected, Jimmy, as you like to interrupt. You ain't going to do that to me today. She's going to stay in LaGrange for a long time.
You have just.
I'm feeling good, Jimmy. I ain't even wearing my heart regulator today. That's how good I'm feeling.
The Proton Voltron
4. Experimental device.
You just threatened to expose and turn in and stooge on, drop a dime on.
I think you were even going to use the word distort, but go ahead.
Against your own mother, Ma Bolin, for coming trying to take care of you in your hour of need. So what happened last week? Why did you flatline and your Voltron went crazy?
Number one, she's coming here to mooch. That's what she's the queen of, mooching my food.
Get off Ma Bolin.
Mooching my big screen. Mooching my soft drinks that I love so much. Mooching all my restaurant connections. She's a professional mooch, son, and I don't need her down here by me. She nearly killed me, and that ain't gonna happen no more. But
that's worse than a professional moocher.
Yeah, we wouldn't want anybody horning in on your territory.
I hate a fucking mooch. I hate somebody that don't earn their way, and I'm not gonna be a part of it.
What happened to you last week when you flatlined?
I'm going to explain if you'll shut your big mouth for just a minute. That's all you do is run your yapper. So if you'll shut up, I'm going to explain it in a nice, calm, cool voice. What happened is that, my dog, Two Cow, and Christopher's dog, the Prince, Choco. Well, they've known each other.
Wait a minute, the two cow. Is that the pit bull, or are they both pit bulls?
No, two cows. The big Labrador with the great.
One's a Labrador, the other one's a pit bull. They're about 125 pounds apiece. They're wild ass dogs.
You know better. Now, what we did is we had to call the Shively Animal Clinic. My good friends down there. I got a few people that own that place.
That's the Shively Animal Clinic, folks, for all your animal clinic needs. Have you got the plug out of the way? Can you tell me what this has to do with you flatlining?
It has a lot to do with it because Choco was going to be evicted from this property altogether because they don't allow pit bulls here. Well, the good folks down at Shively Animal Clinic, they took a good look at my dog, and they looked at that paperwork, and you know what they did? They checked lab mix. Lab mix. There ain't anything on here because that dog's a pit bull, so she can come over here anytime she wants. So she's back at it.
Had the species of your dog changed?
Yes.
How much did you bribe the Shively Animal Clinic or whatever that?
How many pounds of frozen fish?
It cost me dinner for two at the Golden Corral, dinner for two at Raising Cane's, and dinner for two at Qdoba, which I'll be having dinner at tonight and signing my book right down there at 1500 Bardstown Road. My good friend Scott down there at Qdoba. If you want to come down and get you a signed copy of my book tonight for $29.95.
Oh my God! Anyway, how much? Okay,
well, let me finish the story.
Alice, help me! Where were we at? Continue your story.
Don't drag Alice into this. Do have her do what she does best, and that's sit there and keep her mouth shut until I say something funny, and then she can laugh. But I ain't got anything funny to say today because I'm all serious today. Because what happened is Two Cow and Choco have finally decided to kind of mingle, to get together. It's been since January, and all they do is nip and fight with each other. Well, all of a sudden, the day that I'm doing your show, they're in the living room, and they decide to start fornicating. They're going at it, man. They're behind the couch going, well, poor old Two Cow never had any before, and he kind of exited the program.
That's right. He is in the Bolin family. Most Bolin men don't get a lot of. Never mind.
I think he's more like you when it comes to that. You admitted to me once you were more like a bunny rabbit, and I was more like an elephant. I got a long trunk, and you don't. I think that's what I say.
I don't know. Kid, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Continue with the story.
I'm sorry you did, too.
Your dogs were fucking. Were they on the side of the road?
No, they was behind the couch.
Behind the couch.
But Two Cow exited.
Having a biohazard.
Two Cow exited the
You dust with your leaf blower, and you have dogs fucking behind your furniture. My God!
Yesterday we cleaned with Peach. My son come over to thoroughly detail and clean my home yesterday, and
your home.
Well, it needed to be cleaned.
Oh, it's also his car.
I've been in a,
right, but back to the dogs fucking. Or what happened?
So when Two Cow got done, he come in here and wanted to play around, hang with me for a little bit. You know, he loves me. I'm his owner. I saved him. I gave him a home. And he starts playing around. He's nipping and biting and everything. And all of a sudden, he bit through the damn wires of the Proton 4 heartbeat regulator. And it just shut down. And we were gone. I mean,
wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the dog unplugged you?
Unplugged me. Hell, he bit through the wires.
Whistles went off.
He bit through the wires. It wasn't working at all. It wasn't like I could plug it back up and get right back on the line. I had nothing to work with. I was concerned. I thought I might die again. So I rushed down to the doctor.
I
damn near died 3 Wednesdays ago. We talked about that yesterday. Ain't you got a fucking memory? So we go down to, I called the doctors, and of course, me being me, they take me in immediately. They don't make me wait. They don't get many celebrities down there at the University of Louisville Hospital. So I go into the office building over here off Newburgh.
I don't think they want you publicly sitting out in front of their establishment. Gives the place a bad name, a bad image.
No, I'm a celebrity, and they don't want me out there mixing with the lower kind, if you know what I mean. So they bring me on in there, get me in early, and my doctor, Dr. Michael Jordan, and that's no joke, that's his name, Dr. Michael Jordan. Don't make fun of it. He's not 6'4" and a guard from the University of North Carolina. He's my doctor.
All right, Dr.
So I go there, and of course, before I go back, the nurses have to check me out, and they always make a big deal of me. You know, not often you see a big television star in there, and whenever I'm in, I get the word.
I'll agree. It's not often that nurses examining you would see such a sight.
You want this thing to go on or not? Quit interrupting. Quit putting your smart mouth in it. Let me tell you the story.
I'm sorry.
I told you I wasn't in the mood to be funny or playing around today. I got serious shit to talk about here. So the nurses are checking me out and everything, and I'll be goddamn, my blood pressure's up, Jimmy. My blood, they were asking me about you. Have you been on the experience? They're all fans of the
experience.
As
soon as they started talking about me, your blood pressure went up.
Well, the blood pressure went up and the numbers were up, and they were a little concerned. But the nurses saw I had a few copies of my book with me, and they said, "What do you got in your hand?"
Of course, I knew that you'd have copies.
I said, not only am I a television star, a movie star, a thespian, an actor, a singer.
Wait a minute, a thespian?
Well, that's the same as an actor. I was just trying not to talk over everybody's head. I threw actor in there. I figured they'd know what I was talking about. And I was in that big movie, Ultimate Death Wish 2. You know that movie.
Oh, I remember that.
I was a big star in it. Thank you. And a nice movie plug for me. Sold at Walmart there for quite some time. It did. Don't lie, man.
It may have been in the bin, but it didn't sell.
Oh, the day that movie came out, I told you I was going to go for the release of my movie. He said, release Hell, It Escaped. You buried that movie from the first day it came out. But we're not here to talk about my movie and what a star I was.
That straight-to-video movie that you were featured in so prominently had a character that died in Act 3 and appeared in Act 4.
I didn't want the fans waiting 12 to 15 weeks to be able to get the DVD. I didn't want them paying $12.95 to go see it at the theater. I wanted them to be able to see it immediately. So that's why we had it on direct-to-DVD. I care about my fans, Jimmy, unlike you. You know that.
All right, anyway, so I don't even know. We're at the doctor. The nurse is tickling your paint. If
you'll shut up, this will be a lot better show, and I can get this story told.
All right.
So the nurses are making a big deal out of me and everything, and they noticed I got those books. And they said, "What do you got in your hand there, King? What do you?" I said, "Well, I'm now a published author. I've got books out for sale here." Well, how much? I told them how much. So a few of the nurses got their money together, and they come down and they bought a copy of the book, and they noticed that my blood pressure went down, and that my heart rate went down, and they make a little note of that there, and I didn't. They were writing. So we go
right about the time that somebody hands you money, your system starts stabilizing. Is what
I'm getting to something here. Let me finish telling this. So I go by the desk, and some of the more common folk there were not the nurses and the doctors, but the assistants and the mop boys and the aides. They're there, and they see me.
The peons.
And of course, I didn't want to say that, but you did. And they noticed that I'm there, and I got the book. And I said, guys, I don't know if you can afford this book. It's $29.95. So they started pooling their money together, and I want you to know that 3 of them at a time were coming up to me and pooling the money together, and they agreed to share the book. And they all bought a copy.
Joint custody.
And I did about 3 of those joint custody sales. And once again, they're monitoring my heart, and they bought the book, and they noticed that the blood pressure goes down. When they quit talking about you, I was a lot calmer. And the things were going much smoother. So then I go in, I sit down, I got to wait about 5 minutes. Most people wait 30. But Dr. Jordan knows I ain't nobody to fuck around with down there. And he gets in there to see me quick. So Dr. Michael come in.
He probably takes a look at you and figures if he doesn't address your issue in the next 5 minutes, there won't be any use.
Dr. Michael Jordan comes in with a big smile on his face, and he says, King, how you doing? I said, I'm doing marvelous. I said, I got out of the hospital a couple of weeks ago. Everything seemed to be going well, but I started doing Jimmy Cornette's show. My dog bit through the Proton 4 heart regulator, and, well, I'm a little concerned. I don't have anything to shock my heart back into rhythm. And he says, well, I said, I've been looking through the notes here, and he says, King, I've noticed something, and I think I'm going to be able to be more help to you today than you realize. I said, well, anything you can do, Doc? I said, I don't want to go back to that goddamn Baptist hospital. I don't want to be in there for 10 days. Shit, Jimmy wouldn't come see me anyway, just kept giving me irritating fucking phone calls. I didn't do that. He says, well, I'm going to address that. I'm going to get to that. So he notices in my hand that I got 3 books left. And he said, what do you got there? I said, well, Doc, I've written this new book. I probably screwed you too. The mostly true stories of Kenny Starmaker Bolin. Yes, Jimmy, what?
You've had that book written. I refuse to believe that you actually authored anything. It is...
I inked and penned every word in that book, and how dare you say anything otherwise?
It's a description of things that you have done and said in your life. I will give you that, but I refuse to believe that you actually did the work of setting it on paper.
Oh, he penned everything, including your foreword.
Well, no, he didn't, because it would have actually sounded much differently. That was never proven. It was.
That was proven, by the way.
No, it's our attorneys and Dennison actually.
My attorney, your friend.
Well,
Denison, to be honest
we're
with you.
going to be talking about that introduction or forward that I did or did not write. I say I didn't. You claim I did.
Not even you were sure is what creates reasonable.
I say that you've had that done, but the point is,
you just gave Denison reasonable doubt right there. We're good.
No, you have, once again, you're trying to say that you sold your doctor, Michael Jordan, a copy of this book.
No, I never said that. I never said he bought a copy. I was about to say he bought 3 copies, the 3 I had left. He would have bought more, but I sold out. So he buys those 3 copies, and he told me that he's going to buy those for some friends of his, that he wanted to educate on the ways of Kenny Bolin. He wanted to prepare the world for a better place to live, and that he knew that I probably had some good advice in there, and if they would read that book and follow my way of life, that it'd be a lot better place. I said, well, Doc, I couldn't agree with you more. And so he didn't have any cash or anything on him. And fortunately, I had my phone on me, had that little credit card swipe. So I swiped him up there. Total, I think, with tax and merchandise and, reasonable figures, came up, I think, to $113.95. And then once again, the blood pressure goes down. The heart rate for 3 books. Well, I signed them and personalized them. Sign them, I charge $5. Personalized, I charge $9. And so that jacks the price up a little bit. It's called marketing, Jimmy. You should learn something about it. And so I signed those personalized, not signed. Let's just tell me. Let me say what I did. I personalized those 3 books for a fee and $113.95. He scans it and he noticed right away. Blood pressure went down. Heart rate went down. Everything's looking fine. He says, that's it, Kenny. He said, I have figured this out. I have got your cure. You don't need the Proton 4 heart regulator anymore.
No, you don't need the Voltron 4?
No, we're going to scrap this son bitch. You'll never have to wear it because it was a bit of a nuisance and uncomfortable at times. But, it was keeping me alive or so I thought.
Especially with that anal probe, the part that plugged in the rear.
No anal probe this time. And you know what? That was 4 years ago.
All right. I'm sorry. I got them mixed up.
I'm still having flashbacks
I'm
about
so
that.
confused.
So I said, well, Doc, what's the deal? He says, well, I'm going to write you out a couple of prescriptions. That's why I thought you said I thought you had the cure. Well, I do. And I'm going to write you a couple of prescriptions. So I got more meds I got to take? He says, not exactly. I just want you to follow the rules to these 2 prescriptions I'm going to write you. And you are going to be 100% good as new. You may never have to see me again. Well, goddamn, I'm interested in that. What you got? So he writes that first prescription. And this is a little bad news for you, Jimmy, and it saddens me to say this.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
But Dr. Jordan, I read the prescription, and here you want to hear what it said, and I'm going to summarize. I don't have it right in front of me.
Go ahead and summarize. Yeah.
But what it said, it says, you have to eliminate all physical contact with your best friend, Jim Cornette. You cannot have dinner with him anymore. You can't go out and eat with him. You can't go to his home, and you can't go to the ball games or any of that. You have to sever your ties with Mr. Jim Cornette. No more personal visits.
I'm free?
That means you don't have to buy him dinner anymore.
I'm free? Oh, God, I'm free.
Hey, now you're crying. What the hell?
I'm free.
I knew I was going to break you up. I knew it was going to make you sad.
Oh, glory, hallelujah, there is a God.
Now I feel terrible. I made you cry.
I'm sorry. Oh, let me compose myself. I've got the vapors there from, Kenny, I'm going to miss you.
Well, I know, but we can still talk on the phone and everything because I can always hang up on you. But if you're with me in person, I can't get away from you and you rile me up, and that's not good. Yeah. You're making my heart rate go into the 160s. My blood pressure was going up into like the 170s.
It was all my fault.
It was all your fault.
Eliminate this personal contact.
And you try to rile me up, and I know why, because you know that I've got a large sum buried somewhere, hidden somewhere, so you think. And you hovered around like a buzzard the last time I was in the hospital. And the only reason you didn't do it this time is you couldn't get there quick enough. You're wanting to know where I got the money hid. And
no, it was actually the last time you were in the hospital. It was your no account son, Catbox, the prince, that was trying to find the location of the box.
A lot of people trying to find it the last time because I didn't know I was dying last time. But they told Biscuits and Gravy Razor that apparently they told you. They told my son, but they didn't tell me. I didn't know. I thought it
looked like a remake of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World trying to get across town from across Louisville to fucking Bolin Manor that day.
I was feeling rough. But, so that was prescription number 1, is I can't have any more physical contact with you, and I was glad to see you got all broke up about it.
Well, I hate for something like this.
I was pretty sad yesterday myself, but like I said, we can still talk on the phone.
What's the other prescription?
So if you piss me off, then I can just hang up on you.
Well,
the other prescription, this one here, God.
This one's going to be tough on you, huh?
How it got to me when I told you what Johnny Bolin wrote.
Oh, now don't bring your dead father on his deathbed that you've manipulated autographs from.
Not dead yet. Quit wishing him dead.
He's not. He's on his deathbed.
You know, when he dies, that book's going to be worth a lot more than $99.95. And I know that you probably went online and brought 5 of those copies. I know you.
No,
you're an investor. You're an investor. That's what you do. And you know that those books will be worth about $500 a piece if you get your hands on a few of them. I know what you're up to.
Johnny Bolin has never put his signature on anything worth $500, including a check.
He has now, because when he dies.
Oh, for heavens!
That book is going through the roof, man. And you were trying to cash in on it. Don't tell me you're not.
What was the doctor saying to you here?
So much like when Johnny signed those 30 books and pulled me in and said, my last wishes for you, son, is for, please tell Jimmy's fans and your fans to buy my son's book, which is me. I'm his only son. And so you can't mistake that. I'm his only son, and I'm the only one who's written a book. So that had to have been what he meant.
Nevertheless.
So what Dr. Jordan wrote down, he says.
Dr. Michael Jordan,
6'4" in the guard from North Carolina. He wrote down, if you want Kenny Bolin to live, if you love Kenny Bolin, if you're a fan of Kenny Bolin, and you want Kenny Bolin around for as long as I do, please, it's 3 pleases, buy Kenny Bolin's book. It makes his heart rate go down. It shows him you love him. It makes his blood pressure go down. And it makes Kenny a happier, long-living prosperity to be, is what it basically.
What the fuck? Have you just had a small stroke?
No.
You told that whole story that you've obviously pulled completely out of your voluminous ass, and then at the end you trailed off babbling gibberish English words that were not put together in the proper fashion. It appeared to me that
you're going to shit on this too, and you mean to tell me that you're going to say to me, right to my face or in my ears, that you didn't understand the words that were coming out of my mouth? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's the point you've made, and you've taken 15 minutes to make it, is that the doctor said, Don't let Jim Cornette send your heart rate up by telling the truth about you and calling bullshit on your shenanigans and your falderall. And also the doctor has told everybody that you meet to hand you money to keep your blood pressure down and give you longevity, longness of life, to be a long-lived individual, because otherwise you're going to croak. He didn't tell you to diet. He didn't tell you to exercise. He didn't tell you to take proper medication.
He didn't tell me to die.
He didn't tell you to spend some money on any of those things instead of.
Why would he tell me to die? You said he didn't tell you to die. Why would he do that?
Diet.
Oh, well, I don't like that word. That's a dirty word. They'll tell you that diet is a dirty word. There's no such thing as diets. Diets don't work. Surgery works, and that's what we're building to.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Building towards surgery. Diets are a failure. 95%.
You'd rather have some guy take a sharp knife and a fucking meat cleaver to you than put the fucking donut down?
Fuck yeah! Wouldn't you?
No.
Why would I want to resort to hard work and displeasure and eat a bunch of shit I don't like, as opposed to a couple of nips and tucks and everything's been fixed?
You do realize that after the surgery, you have to change your diet.
No, of course not.
Yes, you do.
I'll do more nipping and more tucking.
I think there's a limit to the amount of nipping and tucking that one man can take.
Nipping and Jimmy's a tucking. I'm telling you that right now.
Tucking. That would be a major renovation project that the fucking Discovery Channel should cover, to nip and tuck you. When they would bring in that heavy machinery
nip and fuck you if you're just going to badmouth me. Nip and fuck you too. Good God. Can I come on in here and get a half ounce of goddamn respect from either one of you? Do you both just have to shit on me every chance you get? You laugh at my dying dad. I mean, god damn, how heartless can you fucking be? And I read all the tweets.
Wait a minute. Don't tell it. When is the last time that you said one kind word to your father? The notorious Johnny Bolin. When's the last time that you even called him on the phone unless you found out that he was near death? When is the last time you sent him a Christmas card? When is the last time you spent a holiday in his presence? How many decades has that been?
Hang on. 1966.
How old were you?
He got me that shitty fucking. He got me that shitty fucking jewelry maker that you put on there and it rolls around for 12 fucking hours and it don't really make no jewelry.
Oh, the rock tumbler.
That was when I knew he didn't love me. That was when I knew there was a fucking problem, when I got that fucking jewelry maker. And you know what he followed that up with the next year? The Ronco glass maker. It was a goddamn thing you cut Coke bottles with, and it turned them into glass.
Yes, I loved that thing. Yeah.
You loved that. I cut my lips on it, son bitch. I didn't know you had to sand down the fucking thing when you were done with it. I thought it was cut them clean. My lips bled for about 4 fucking days on that goddamn thing. He gave it to me, hoping I'd fucking drink a soft drink and die. That's what he did. He tried to kill me.
Or maybe you just didn't read the directions.
And you want me to show.
So the point is, you've never considered the notorious Johnny Bolin, the father of the year in the last 50 years to begin with, and you have not had a close, loving relationship, and suddenly you're at his deathbed getting him to autograph your biography that you had somebody else write for you about all the people that you've screwed over. Is that it?
I do not carry grudges, Jimmy. I forgive and forget. Unlike with you and Bischoff, unlike with you and Russo, unlike with you and Madden, unlike with you.
I
guess if I pulled out a list over here, I could name about 1,000 fucking other people you ain't forgiven. I have a big heart. It has its problems now and then, but I got a big heart. And I forgave Johnny for that Ronco bottle maker. I forgave him for that piece of shit jewelry maker. I forgave him for pulling out a crib stick from my bed and beating me because I said goodnight too many times. I forgave him the time I burnt my hand on a wood-burning stove. And he said, "Oh, you little fucker, you're not Superman after all, are you?" Because I had a towel tied around my neck, and I like to think I was Superman. So, yeah, that was the notorious Johnny Bolin. That was the fucking love I got. I had to go out and shovel the goddamn coal outside and bring it in because his big ass was too fucking lazy to go out and get it. I'm the one that had to go out and chop the fucking wood.
Now, wait a minute. He was not lazy. He was drunk.
He was that. I'm the one that had to go out and pump the water because we didn't have indoor water. I'm the one that had to go out and shit in a 2-hole outhouse with big spiders in it because we didn't have indoor plumbing. And you want me to fucking forgive him? Well, I finally did. I've done what you've asked me to do. I forgave him on his deathbed when I had him sign 30 of my books that are going to sell for $99.95. And when he dies, they're going to go for a lot more than that. They're probably going to go for about $599.95 because I'm going to get every penny that man owes me. I'm going to get every penny that he fucked me out of as a kid. I'm going to get that little pony that he never brought me. I'm going to get that car that he didn't get me when I was 16. I'm going to get that piece of ass I couldn't get because he wouldn't let me go across the street and play with that pretty little girl. It's all going to change, and I'm going to get him for everything he did to me for those 14 miserable fucking years that he was married to Ma Bolin, another pain in my ass. I'd have been better off if I was a fucking orphan. I'd have been better off if I was raised by Thelma Cornette, the son she always wanted. I would have been a better man because of it, because I'd have been raised a spoiled little rich bastard like you. I'd have been silver spoon-fed. I'd have got to eat spaghetti in my bed in a fucking air-conditioned attic. I'd got to go to Fulton and make $90 a week taking pictures of the wrestlers. I'd got somebody to mow my fucking yard instead of me mowing it, and life would have been a lot fucking better for me. That's what would have happened, God damn it. Now,
wait a minute.
Clear it up for you?
Wait a minute.
I have a wait a minute. Spaghetti in the attic? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, history has been made here on MLWradio.com on Corny's Drive-Thru by Star Maker Bolin. He has told the truth for the first time in his life in a public forum. I can think of no better way to end the show, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is. You drug it out of me again. You drug it out of me. I didn't want the people to know that shit. And now you've made me tell it on worldwide fucking radio for $15 goddamn dollars.
Shut up. This was worth
my fucking cut.
Alone, folks. This was worth 20, I think. We should raise the price. Folks, that's the drive-through. I don't care where we are, you got your money.
We should.
Good day to you people.
I want my cut.